So now let us go to the next part, which is called Claude Projects. So memories are good, right? So memories is a good way to store some information about you. But even after 1 year of chatting with the Claude, you can see that all it knows about me is barely 3, 4 paragraphs, right? So this is not good enough for me to work. So what I want to do is, so let's say whenever I'm working with Claude, my projects, sometimes the projects that I work on have tens of different files and folders, right? So now my memory from Claude, it's basically like a simple ID card that which has some basic information. But when you have projects, when you are working on projects that involve lots of files, Claude Projects is a workspace feature. So basically, the idea is whenever I'm working on a very big project, let's say I have 5 PDFs about that, right? So every time I'm uploading 5 PDFs again and again, so it's also costing me a lot of, let's say, credits doing that. So what the better way to do is to use Claude Projects. Claude Projects is a workspace that remembers, right? So you can just create a project within Claude. You can upload all the documents and just inherit from it. So, for example, as mentioned, I run this application called Unrot, so which is AI learning app. So now what happens is whenever I go to Claude, sometimes it gets the context right, sometimes it doesn't get it right, and rarely or maybe it doesn't even so if I go into the granular details of the application, it doesn't remember most of it anyway. So what I want to do is, again, what my problem is, I'm having to upload details about Unrot every time I work with Claude. So what I can do is I can use Claude Projects, which is like a feature where I can upload all my files at one place, and Claude will use them every time I use a chat. So what I can do is I'll just go to Claude. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on projects. So within projects, I'm going to create a new project. And in this, I'll say that my project will be about Unrot PM, Unrot AI PM. Project, I'll just say project. A project to work with all the context required for Unrot AI app. I'll just say create project. So you can see that now this project does not have a lot of details about it. So now what I can do is I have created some documents upfront. So I'll just open that just a second. So I have created some context files for Unrot already. So I'll just going to upload that into this. Okay. So now what I want to do is here I have some, let's say, some documents about Unrot that I'm just uploading. Right. So here I have these 4 files, which has Unrod design system, Unrod product overview, Unrod sample PRD, Unrod, let's say, sample prompts for creating some posters and bunch of other things. So now what I want to do is I want to say that I want to create a PRD for Unrod in my existing style. Feature is the feature I want to develop is badges for different levels of users. So now you can see that in this particular prompt, I have used the word unrot, but sometimes it might not. So from my memories, all it knows about Unrot is a AI learning app. Apart from that, it does not know anything. But when I'm using it in a project, so it has this particular document called Unrot product overview, right? So it knows good context about this. and I'm saying PRD in my existing style. So it can also look at the PRD that is in existing style. So this is the current style in which I write a PPT. So you can say PRD, one liner, problem, and what we are building and so on. Now, what I can do is, I don't have to repeat myself again. So every time I upload this, I'll just open this project and I'll just run this. So whenever I'm running a chat within the folder or project, it automatically has all the details about it. So it's just looking at the files in the project and it is going to use it and create it. So this feature is going to be very, very helpful. Yeah, so you can see that it is just looking at the sample PPT. And one good thing about Claude is it is also asking some questions, right? So it's saying which direction you want. So depth batches. So now it will view the files as a context. It will do that. It is asking some more questions just to be sure. But again, I can just continue the chat. So you can see that now it already has a lot of context about Android. So it says in Android, you would like this, you would like that. So all this is coming from. So you can see that ideally these are the current numbers of Android that you can see in the documents that I've uploaded. It is saying what do you want to do from this, right? So that way you can create a project for anything, right? So I have projects created for my slides, right? So whenever I work on creating slides, uh, so even the lectures that I am showing you currently, I have created some slides, example slides and everything. And I have also stored some instructions and everything. So for me, this project is very important because whenever I have a lecture, I just use this to create my slides. So create slides for explaining Claude projects feature in Satvik's style, right? So it automatically has all the information about the let's say images about how the design should look like. Some additional instructions I have also added in terms of how it has to do. So this is just like a prompt, as I mentioned initially, right? So sometimes the prompts that you write should be very detailed. A 3-4 line prompt or 2-3 paragraph doesn't cut it. So to create my presentation, this is the prompt that I have written. This is probably 1200, 1300 words of prompt, right? It's a single prompt that is being used every time. So all I have to do is just ask it to create slide in Satvik style, and it will look at all the files in the project and it will create slides like I want it, right? So this is something that you can also do. So one exercise that you can do is you can create a project for your company, right? So if there is a particular project that you're working on, put all the, let's say you're creating PPTs for your company, upload the brand guidelines, team bios, and bunch of other things and do it. Let's say you're preparing for an exam. So put all those textbooks into, let's say, Claude project and you can start doing it. You can also keep some personal projects like journals. Every day you can write something and put it in this and so on. So projects are generally useful when you have a lot of context that you are repeatedly giving to AI. Memories are good, but projects is something that is useful when you are working on large set of documents. So set up some projects yourself and a work project, upload 3-4 documents, and there are also some interesting exercises that you can see here in terms of what you can do with projects, right?